Greetings, Integra Therapy family. Thank you for joining me again. I hope as you're watching this video, you find yourself well, feeling that you're getting into a rhythm, that you're feeling connected to your body, your family, your environment in these very strange and perhaps difficult times. If you're joining me for the first time, welcome. My name is Andrea Wright from Integra Therapy. And for those of you who have been following me and following these videos, thank you so much for your positive feedback. I'm really glad that you are finding these videos helpful. If you are, then I encourage you to subscribe, share it with your friends if you think, and your family, if you think that these videos are helpful. So today I want to talk about what I'm calling one of the foundational principles for when you're doing your exercises, and that is using your breath. Your breath is a really, really powerful tool to enable you to achieve three things. 1, to be safe. 2, to be focused. And 3, to really use it as a powerful regulator of your nervous system and essentially of anxiety and stress. This I found in my experience that I use and encourage my clients to adopt when they are doing and performing their exercise regimes and strategies. So let's talk about safety first. You may have heard me talk about zones when I have been going through some of the exercises. In particular, I really am addressing concerns of clients that say, well, I'm not sure if I stretch too much, or am I doing it correctly or not? And this is the guide that I use to give them to help them navigate some of those questions. So what you might imagine is when you apply tension, you begin to experience some very mild sensation, some pulling, and as you increase the tension, you feel more pulling, and then you get to a point as it begins to increase that you come to an edge. And that edge, if you know and sense that if you were to go over that edge, then it may become painful. And it's at that point that something happens in the body that is unconscious and is normal. It's a protective mechanism. And what you will find is that your body would and will reflexively withdraw. So that means it begins to pull away because it recognizes that something isn't safe. So this is the zone that you don't really want to go into. Because if you imagine you're applying a pulling or tensional force to the tissue, to the muscles, and then your body is contracting away from that force. This doesn't serve you well in terms of trying to achieve an outcome where you're able to adapt the tissue to accept greater tensional loads more comfortably. So that is the edge that I don't want you to work on. And I'm going to ask you to work in this middle zone. So not where it's easy, but where you feel there's some comfortable tension. And this is really dependent on how you feel. You may want to work deeply, but here is where the breath is helpful, because in this middle zone, you experience tension and you can fully exhale. That's often when the body relaxes and it reorganizes into a new structural configuration. This is where you want to be. So using the breath allows you to ascertain if I am holding enough tension where I feel satisfied that I can exhale. If when I exhale, I'm starting to withdraw, you know you need to pull back a little bit. So the breathing really helps, in my opinion, keep us safe and gives us the knowledge we need to be able to do that. Secondly, it keeps us focused. When we use the breathing, as in mindfulness practice, it's a way to direct our mental attention to the area that we are focusing on. This is really important because it enables you, as I've said just now, to detect where your safe zones are. So using the breath allows us to bring our mind, our breathing, our actions all to one point, and that really makes more effective what we're doing. The last thing I'd like to say the breathing helps us to do and to achieve is that it's a really powerful regulator of the nervous system. So when we adopt the breath consciously, what we'll find is that it allows the body to relax and induce more of a calming effect. Sometimes our exercises are really difficult. Sometimes we don't know exactly what we're doing. Sometimes we're not sure. Sometimes they can be challenging. And what the breath allows us to do here is just to keep our bodies in a more receptive state. If we are using the breath, we're able to have a little bit more capacity to navigate all of those questions which may cause some anxiety. So it's not just for the exercises that I'm producing here. I would like you to experiment and play when you're doing your squats, or when you're doing perhaps your HIIT classes, or when you are in the gym. See if you can use the breath in any way that you feel is useful, thinking about these points, and see how it is for you. There is no right or wrong, but I'm hoping that you will be encouraged to experiment and to use it, and maybe you may agree with me, and maybe you find some other useful insight by exploring how you're moving and how you're breathing together. If you do, leave a comment below on the YouTube channel, subscribe, share what you are experiencing. So I hope you have found this useful. I'd encourage you again to play and experiment with some of these ideas. Be well. See you again. Bye-bye for now.